Enjoy the show. Drive on Lugnutz.
Nothing left to do but to crank over those engines, gearheads, 'cause 'tis none other than us, the Lugnutz podcast.
Welcome. Recorded 24 March 2024. Chevy drops. Toyota patents. Mazda looks to the future. PPR. A new one. That and more on this little show we call Lugnutz. Thank you for joining us.
Enjoy the show. Drive on Lugnutz.
We want you to drive on over here. Facebook.com/Lugnutz podcast. That's where you're going to find all of our smooth and luggy and nutty polished content coming in for you right out here. And if you want to enjoy the full content of the Lugnutz podcast, we want you to go over to pjandwh.com where you can enjoy the entire episode. But we also want you to enjoy this first story.
This is the Chevy Blazer 2024. So, hasn't always been the smoothest road for this one. They were selling it, and then they had a software issue, so they stopped sales. But it's back on the market for a lower price this time. I'm sure they figured it out. All the bugs or whatever.
It's not a good statement to start off with.
$5,620 discount.
That's really not good.
$6,520 compared to the original MSRP. Chevy recently announced a new MSRP reduction on the 2024 Blazer as a result. This announcement would like to reimburse those who bought the Blazer before March 7th.
Okay.
So get
So they're saying sorry.
yeah. If you bought it before, you'll get money back. You'll get on the RS, you get $5,620 back. On the other model, you get $6,520.
That's not bad.
They sort of transposed a couple numbers.
Yeah, but it's not bad altogether. You know,
But I'm sure they dotted all their T's and crossed all their I's or whatever you do over there.
it looks like a Toyota.
Yes. It's
What is it? The RAV4.
kind of boring.
Yeah, like I said, it looks like a Toyota.
Well, this next story, not as boring. Data is in the cameras that are looking at you while you're in your car right now. They need to know where you're looking, what you're doing. But GM is going to stop sharing their data with the data broker that they have been using.
Okay.
Data broker turns the information into insurance companies, resulting in some drivers having a much higher insurance premiums and much harder to obtain insurance. So they're just not going to do it with these people anymore.
Oh, that
They'll
makes
probably
sense.
find other people to sell the data to, but
Oh, yeah.
just not this group. There's also customers that they have OnStar, but they never signed up for it, and the salesperson checked a box that says they can listen or whatever, collect their data or something.
So they didn't sign up for it.
Yeah, some people, but they sort of
But
have
some
it,
guy.
but they don't have it. They have it to the point where the data is being tracked.
Okay. So some guy was just like, you said no, but I feel like you meant yes.
Yeah. As of March 20th, OnStar Smart Driver customer data is no longer being shared with LexisNexis or VizTech customers. Trust blah 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 blah. We're not going to sell to them anymore.
Okay, so there's trust issues.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I'm
sure they'll find someone else. They're just not going to sell to these people.
Yeah, but
Trust me, they'll sell your data to somebody else.
You can't stop it. They are going to sell your data, but it's that kind of don't pay attention to the man behind the curtains moment here. Of hang on, what are you guys doing?
Another reason.
Well, we don't want to sell your data to him. We want to sell it to somebody else, just not him.
Right. Another reason to put your phone down and let's drive on over to this next story. Toyota has made a filing at the patent office. I find this one kind of interesting because we saw this X-Van gear concept at the Japanese Motor Show 2023. It appeared to be a crowd pleaser. So before anybody else patented it, they patented it themselves and they plan on bringing it into production. Let's take a look below. And
Yeah,
see
but
some
they're
of the photos.
Japanese. Like, they don't know that this is ugly. You know, they hopped on the bandwagon.
It's a cultural thing. It's
Okay, I'll hop on that. Cultural bandwagon.
Sure. It was a crowd pleaser. Toyota intends to put it into production.
Oh, wow.
3 rows of seats. The doors open up for a big old wide.
That's a
expansive-
wide ass door, though.
It's
The
a
front
really-
and the
it's
back.
a really
That's
big
really
door.
That's really impressive.
It's like a minivan version of a.
It's
the-
why they
the
did 2
suicide
pictures
doors.
of the same one. They were
It
like,
is. It's-
"Did you see this door?"
It is an amazing door. Offers 3rd row seats, which is mounted on rails. I assume so you could move the seats
Yeah.
around to your
Yeah.
desired position. The B pillars.
It's ugly as sin, though.
The B pillarless doors make a wide open lounge-like atmosphere for camping.
Haven't you ever gotten into your car and be like, "God damn, I wish this was more lounge-like"? No. Okay. It was just me.
It's a different type of concept. Box wheel flared arches with sliding door rails, black A, B, and D pillars along the contrasting C pillars. Daytime running lamps, pixelized headlights.
Yeah.
All sorts of things are in the patent filing for possible options. So Japan's getting a brand new, what do we call this? Is this just a van?
Is there another term
A B
for van?
pillarless, is it a B pillarless van?
A B plus van?
No, pillarless, because it doesn't have this
Oh,
one.
so
right?
B minus.
This pillar right here that normally goes.
Yeah,
right.
so B minus van.
Sure, I guess.
That's the best I got. I don't know. It's weird because obviously you're going to have to make up for that lack of a B pillar indoors, especially right here. You know?
I'm sure it'll pass all safety inspections,
Well, yeah,
or the B
but-
pillar will show up again.
It's got to be like some wicked ass like stuff in that door to make up for not having a B pillar. Because you
It's
still
just
have to
really-
have that safety.
Probably spreads the load out over the larger area.
Yeah.
It's got to be safe. It's Toyota.
They
right?
wouldn't just put it out. and be
They
like,
wouldn't just put a notch on
I don't
the
know.
frame to like, hey, look, it does great.
Look,
see?"
Gary designed this van and we're putting it out. But well, what about the B pillar? It's not safe. Look, Gary made the van.
I'm
it'll
sure just because it doesn't have B pillar doesn't mean it's safe. We'll see what the crash tests say.
Exactly. But
We
I
can-
really hope it is because it's a nice thought, especially design-wise for a car. To be able to not have that ugly B pillar in there.
Well, let's go talk about the next story. Mazda has an electric future, and they're going to call it the E6. Electric 6 is what they've trademarked in Europe, which is odd because they plan on sending this to North America.
They also flip it backwards. Electric 6, but they say 6E.
So I did say it backwards, didn't I?
Oh, you or them, either one.
The 6E, not the E6. Yeah, they're going to go with the same numbering system they have. They also trademarked other ones, including the 6E emblem and a bunch of others as
Let's
well.
hope they got
Probably
the emblem
3
right,
and-
because if they go E6 on the emblems, it's all fucked.
It probably looks like this.
Greg, what are you doing? That's not what... We just have to change the name of the car. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, you will see this coming to North America in your distant future.
It's not a bad looking car, but you can say that about all Mazdas.
They're good cars.
They're very
Nice looking
nice,
cars.
very sleek, very stylish looking, and they have a lot of features that you want. So, I mean, we don't also, not to stand on the Mazda soapbox, but we don't also hear them having too many recalls.
No, not that I know Last I didn't have one recall on my car, as far as I knew.
Yeah, like I had a recall in the past, decade or
Yeah,
so.
like the airbag thing.
Well, yeah, I could have
Couple
died, but
times,
it's
and then
fine. It's fine.
A couple more times, and then a couple more times we went and looked at this next story. The future is here, and then I don't think it looks so good. And it's not
looks-
the wars in the 4 or 8 different countries. that
No,
are
it,
going on
it,
right now.
it looks boxy.
Yeah, it looks really boxy. This is going to replace the new Fort. This is going to replace the Forte. It'll debut in the New York Auto Show March 27th. Interior, there's a photo below, is a interesting shade of green.
Okay, I have to see. Oh wow, that is.
It's a kind of a, you don't normally see green on the interior.
You don't
It's kind
see
of
green on the outside, let alone on the inside.
it's nice that they add a different color, I guess.
I guess.
Well,
I don't
under
know how
the
to feel about this, honestly. I don't know how to feel about this ugly ass green interior. It's fucking hideous.
still looks like a Kia. It's going to have a naturally aspirated 2-liter inline-4 engine or a turbocharged 1.6 inline-4.
It's still a Kia.
It's you go up. It's the body is a bit not my taste.
Even from the side, I'm not very sold. I don't
It's
know.
like-
it's weird looking.
It's like they wanted to commit to a hatchback, but they didn't want it to look like a hatchback.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a hatchback. Hot
But-
hatches are great.
I don't want to really. I don't want it to be really a hatchback. I want it to kind of be like a sedan and a hatchback.
We'd like it to be a hatchback where someone beat it with the ugly stick. Hey, perfect. I can do that.
I have the design for you. Let me tell. Come here. Let me show you this.
In its
You're gonna like-
defense, there's nothing wrong with the front of the car.
Picture of the front of the car to justify it.
No, just look at the like
Okay,
go like this.
Okay.
You just
Right,
hold your-
right there.
Hold your hand. Look, hold your hand up here. See the front of the car.
That's not
It's
bad.
not that bad looking.
Oh my god! Oh, now it's
Just don't
ugly.
look at
But
that.
besides that,
Bizarre.
the car doesn't actually look like that front end. Is not bad.
After the hood, it sort of starts to lose its shape a bit.
It got away from him a bit.
Yeah, got away. It's like the front half and the back half are designed by two different people. Look, I'll design the front half of the car, and then we'll meet at the B pillar.
Yeah, but if I was designing the back half of the car, it's like I got lazy and I just rushed it at the last day before you
Done.
before it was due.
There you go,
Like,
done.
Bam, done. And good. Yeah, that's perfect. This is exactly what I thought it was going to be.
The back half design took me 80 hours. Really?
I slept 40 of them, but it still took me 80.
I was playing Fortnite 79 of them, but that's not the point. Oh. Well, and on that bombshell, we'll go to our last story. It's coming back, the Nissan GTR 2025, but only if you live in the little island of Japan.
That's where they get
Rumors R35 generation. It's been around since 007, which is a really long time ago. Gets a bit of a facelift in 2014, 2015 spec. Premium edition, track edition, features high precision weight balance piston rings. Wow, connecting rods, crankshaft that were previously exclusive to the Nismo edition.
I remember the last time they brought the GTR out, I was working at a Nissan dealer, and we had like 3 GTRs on the floor. And it was really cool, but it was also like, hey, you see that GTR right there? The GPS it has in it, your smartphone is better. That's how I would move people away from, oh, I need navigation in my car.
But your smartphone doesn't have a twin turbo 3.8 liter V6 that produces 565 horsepower and a GTR that produces 600.
Yeah, but it would be very awkward and very heavy to hold if it did.
Yeah, that's true.
Ugh. Hang on, I gotta answer this phone call.
It would also be about $97,700 to about $288,000,
Which wouldn't make any logistical sense as keeping that as a cell phone as a product. So you might as well keep it as a car.
Might as well, yeah, car.
Yeah,
it needs
car.
wheels at that point.
Yeah,
steering wheel.
You need it. Keep the GTR a car and not a cell phone.
Well, the next chapter in the GTR will be a fully electric Nissan Hyperforce concept that they'll reveal at the Japanese Mobility Show.
Okay.
Coming soon, I imagine.
I mean, it will be mobile.
Yep, electric is going all over, and we can't avoid it. But maybe there's going to be some options. Gas hasn't gone anywhere yet. Still gas stations at the Wawa.
Well, they have these. I saw this meme. It was of 4 different. It was like 4 different types of partially the partial zero emissions, hybrid, and all that. Well, the one had a hydrogen fuel cell, regular fuel cell, and an electric car. So having all 3 may be an option in the future as well.
It could.
And you have all the benefit of all 3 of them. The full trifecta of a Triforce.
I did notice the American car companies backpedal quick back to hybrid. But all the a lot of the European and Japanese, they're like, no. But Nissan is part of the Japanese 5, so they'll have those batteries, that Toyota's been working on.
Solid state. The other thing that I did see is Mercedes is going to start using in their factories robots. So a lot of the heavy labor tasks that were people,
right?
They're going to be moving to robots.
You mean
it's
more
the Apple
robots?
Well, yeah, the Apple robots, the ones that can grab
robots made
things.
of apples.
No, the Apple product.
They lift. They move boxes and walk around.
They move the doors. They put the doors on. The heavy lifting that was and all that. Like they're moving robots into the factories. So that's another thing that
now
we're getting.
One robot can do the job. One IT professional can do the job of 5 paid union workers. Well, those 5 union workers look for a new job.
Gotta tell you, kids, you may want to get into IT. It seems to be a big popping industry right now.
What was it? It's got to be 12, 15. When I got my degree, it's like, you might want to think about computers. I'll stick with psychology.
They're not going to get big. Computers. And that
I had a 286.
That was enough.
It was the shit back in the day.
And it was enough.
256 megabytes. Wow. Look at that.
It heated your house. It kept you informed
slowly. It was, they did get really warm. But
another thing that's warm is our Facebook. We want you to hop on over to our Facebook site. Facebook.com/Lugnutz podcast. And that's where you're going to find all of our Luggy and Nutty Polish content. As well as going to our actual website, pjandwh.com. And that's where you're going to find all of the content that we put out through the network. As well as our mascot here all the time, barking the entire time. It doesn't matter if you drive a Renault. Or if you drive a Toyota, because nothing rolls without Lugnutz. We'll see you next week, gang. Until then, drive on!
That was the best one. There's no honorable mentions. I had to use them.
Yeah, it was a short week, but, the doodle, it's always there.
Still think you should have that 5 minutes of jingling from scratching last week at the very end. Clang, 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 where we just sort of sat here and
you were in the middle of a sentence, and it was so overpowering. Yes. it was so overpowering that we had to stop because that's all I could hear is clang, 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 clang. That's what he was doing. I didn't even have to look. It was right there. But doodle butts aside, we want to see you next week. We love you. We miss you. We want to see you then. Until then, drive on, Lugnutz. Bye-bye.
Drive on Lugnutz.